I never wanted to further my education in Nigeria. If you could do it, then let me shoot my shot, right? And I believe also that I could do it. And one thing could also be that I should have applied for a master's degree. But I said, no, I would not have applied. I would never apply for a master's degree. Since my aim is to have a PhD, and this person got a direct PhD, and the United States gives you the advantage to move from bachelor's to direct PhD, then I'm going to shoot my shot to get a PhD admission.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Comfort Oladayo Adegberu, and if you're new to this channel, welcome back and subscribe before you leave. If you're not a subscriber, thank you for always coming back, and keep sharing the link to those you think would be able to benefit from content from this channel. So today we'll be talking about how to secure funding, like fully funded scholarship if you have like an HND. So I have Islamiyat with me who is currently in the US. So let me just give you a hint now. She had like 7 fully funded scholarship to the US with HND. So if you're thinking, oh, I have HND, I don't have BSc, it's not possible to get fully funded scholarship, you're deceiving yourself. Just stay tuned and hear everything she has to say on how she was able to secure all of these scholarships. So we'll be right back. So welcome back to this video today, and without wasting time, I would allow Islamia to introduce herself, what her name is, where she's currently studying, and there will be a list of questions I'll be asking her to guide us through today's video. So yes, Islamia, thank you once again for agreeing to do this.
Thank you so much, Comfort, for inviting me to your YouTube channel. I'm glad to be here. Thank you so much. And I hope that this session will be an impactful one for anyone who wants to tread the path, getting a fully funded scholarship for either a master's degree or a PhD in the United States using their higher national diploma, which is equivalent to a bachelor's degree in the United States. So thank you so much. And if you're watching us from anywhere, I appreciate you for joining us, for watching this video. Okay, again, Islamiyat Ojelade. I had my national diploma from Ogun State Institute of Technology in Besa, Ogun State, in Science Laboratory Technology, before I proceeded to Federal Polytechnic Elaru to where I obtained my high national diploma in Science Laboratory Technology, chemistry major. And after I finished my high national diploma, I proceeded to the United States. So currently, I'm in the United States. I'm a second-year PhD student in the Department of Chemistry and Biochemistry here at Florida State University. And I'm currently working on energy storage material, particularly battery material, which is solid-state synthesis of electrolyte to be used for electric vehicles, grid-scale energy, and the likes. Thank you.
Wow, that's nice. So you people are maybe not exactly the brain behind Tesla and all of these things.
Yeah, we're working in collaboration.
So that's quite interesting, for someone to have done chemistry. We did chemistry in secondary school, and we know how chemistry could be, honestly. Organic, well, she's not doing organic chemistry, but for Christ's sake, chemistry is like obonge. So for her to be doing chemistry as PhD, I'm sure I brought the right person to the channel today. So you guys should definitely put your comments, ask questions in the comment section. So what motivated you to, pursue higher education, like maybe PhD, or maybe you could have also considered masters initially, I don't know. What motivated you to come to the US to further your education?
Okay, my first motivation is that I've always wanted to acquire an advanced degree to further my education. And I never wanted to further my education in Nigeria. I wanted to obtain this advanced degree, had a master's degree or a PhD. And definitely I've always wanted to have a PhD, which means that my plan was to probably do, after my HND, if I will be in Nigeria, if not once, then it will be going after my PhD, doing PhD or bachelor's, then going for master's degree before. But I had this determination that I wanted something outside the shores of Nigeria, and I wanted to get this advanced degree. So it's more of like career advancement for me. So I've always wanted it. I've never wanted to settle for a bachelor's degree or a HND alone. I've always wanted to advance because I believe that it would open doors of several opportunities for me.
Definitely.
I wanted to get to the peak of my career. Getting a PhD does not necessitate that I was motivated to be in academia. I want to get something even more than academia, to be able to impact lives in positive ways. And that's the truth. That has always been my motivation. I want to get money that would oh, yeah, that's
Yeah, money is important. Please, let's not deceive ourselves.
lives. Exactly. Not only that I want to impact lives, even financially. I want to be able to help people. I want to be able to make sure that people who are less privileged get and are exposed to a lot of advantage they could not get on their own. So the major motivation is to getting career advancement and also be able to impact people's life.
Yeah.
And to be able to tell people, yeah, I did it so you could do it. So basically, after my HND, I applied to several schools outside Nigeria. I got undergraduate transfer admission. I got top up degrees without scholarship, right? But on getting to know that my friend, yeah, I have friends who attended university directly. I have a bachelor's degree who started coming to the US for direct PhD. Then I inquired from them that, oh guys, how did you guys do it, right? They told me they just applied and this was what they did. So what did I do? I told one of them to send me his transcript. Then I compared my transcript with his transcript. I was like, I don't think it's also the chemistry, I was like, I don't think there's anything different from what you guys not for the curriculum though, but at least looking at our transcript, I see a lot of similarities. Then I said, okay, if they could do this, they are exceptional students. That guy is an exceptional student. I can say that anytime, any days. He's one of my close friends. So I thought, okay, if you could do it, then let me shoot my shot, right? And I believe also that I could do it because I have everything. I believe I have everything it takes to do it, right? And one thing could also be that I should have applied for a master's degree, but I said no. I would not have applied. I would never apply for a master's degree since my aim is to have a PhD. And this person got a direct PhD, and the United States gives you the advantage to move from bachelor's to direct PhD, then I'm going to shoot my shot to get a PhD admission. So that was how everything. So I think I've talked about my motivation.
Yeah.
I think it is only the United States is one of the, let me say, currently the only place where you could have a direct PhD with your bachelor's. Only few countries do that. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. Like, it's a very detailed introduction and motivation. So anyone who is currently watching this, you need to have like that mindset of I can also do it. I can also get it, as long as you have the strong determination to achieve what you have placed your mind on. And I really pray that you get that. So you said already that you decided to pursue a PhD directly. So it even means that I'm sure whatever she'll be sharing here will also be useful for someone who probably doesn't want a PhD but wants like just a master's. Because if she can get a PhD, if she was able to get a PhD, it means that definitely you can also get like a master's directly that you wanted. So how did you go about researching? Were you like constraining yourself to certain schools? Do you think maybe certain schools would want HND, some schools will not want HND, maybe some want like BSc? So how did you start the process of your application?
Okay, thank you so much for that beautiful question. So when I started this journey, I knew that I was going to be doing something something that a lot of people may say that it is not achievable. So I have to do a good and clean assignment homework so that I'll be able to guide every other person coming behind me, because I never doubted that I would get a direct PhD. I have never doubted. Right? So I had to do a clean assignment for myself and for people coming behind me. So what did I do? I remember vividly that what I did was I sent email to, I searched for schools using some links just by just getting on Google, list of schools in the university, list of schools in the United States that offer chemistry master's degree. I started with master's degree, like, okay, let me just see what they do. So I started navigating from from the school website, the Department of Chemistry website. Then from there, I got contacts of people, emails of people I could contact, especially the graduate coordinator. So what did I do? I just sent emails to them. I introduced myself, told them about my background, that this is what I have. And also I have praised myself in the email. Before I emailed them, I already had IELTS exam. I already wrote my IELTS exam, and I was I was already processing my evaluation report to align with the US degree, to match with the US degree. So I told them everything in the email. I graduated as the overall best graduate student in my school. I have this score in IELTS. I had this, so English is not my problem. This is what I'm interested in. Then after introducing myself and appraising myself, then I moved on to the questions. Do you think with this that I highlighted, do you think I'm qualified to apply for a master's degree or PhD in your program? Are there funding if I am offered admission into your program? Are there any other things I need to do? So I listed all those questions. So I sent to about 7 schools, and all of the schools said I was qualified. I was eligible.
Interesting. Sorry,
That
can I ask a question at this point?
yes,
Was this email, was it just the graduate coordinator without you even applying for admission yet?
I haven't applied because I
Wow.
mentioned it in the first place that I'm doing something uncommon. So I have to follow due process.
Yeah.
I can just decide to say that I want to, after getting all the information on the platform, I
Go
could
ahead
apply.
to apply. Yeah.
I have to do things with common sense, right? I don't want to waste energy. I don't want to waste resources. I don't want to waste effort. So I have to follow the process. And one of the things I do tell people, some people will tell me that it's Tamiya. In fact, a few days ago, one of the people I privileged to meet was like, Tamiya, is it possible for me to get to the United States this year for my master's degree, for my or PhD? I was like, please, everything requires process. It's a phase. It's everything is in stages. You don't just jump. That's just
Yeah.
you want to, because if you rush to apply, you may get rejection, several rejections.
And
So
it will
yeah,
demotivate you.
it will demotivate you, and it will even waste time, especially if you are not someone that gets up immediately you fail. So you have to do. As I said earlier, that I needed to do every work that is required, because not just for only me, for people coming behind me, right? Maybe I got a good response, an affirmative response from all of the schools. Then I said yes. So I used that as a sampling. I used those schools as a sampling of all the schools in the United States that could be offering master's degree of chemistry. So because I cannot email all of them, right? So
Yeah.
that's what I did. After that, then I said, okay, yeah. They said yes. Then I think I'm qualified. Then the next thing I did was now searching for schools that have chemistry, that have funding, and getting their application materials. I listed everything down, each of the schools I wanted to apply to. I don't have any mind of going to a particular school as long as the school has a professor working on my research interest. After I inquired from those schools and they said they gave me an affirmative response. I then started searching for schools with professors working on my research interest. Determining a research interest is a, like it's another hurdle you have to cross when you want to apply for graduate studies in the United States. So that's one I don't have to elaborate on that. So I decided on a research interest or research I will be pursuing in the United States before I started going deeply into searching for schools. Because if I apply to a school that don't have a professor working on my research interest, automatically they are going to give me, right?
Yeah.
Rejection, right? So I have to make sure that I'm applying and I'm gathering application materials for the school I am interested in. That is the school that has a professor working on my research interest. So that's all about searching for schools and getting their application materials. Then after I searched for schools and I listed my schools, in fact, I had a lot of books. I had a lot of notes on my Excel sheet and Word documents just to make sure that I wrap up things and I'm doing everything correctly because I don't want to miss anything. So after that, then I shot my shot. That was all.
Yeah. From what she has said, it's quite evident that what is worth doing is worth doing well. She even mentioned having Excel sheets. Oh my goodness. So it means if you want something good, if you want something wonderful, you need to put in the work. She got seven fully funded scholarships in the US, and were they all directly like PhD?
Yeah, everything was
Can you
directly because I
imagine?
didn't apply for a master's degree. I applied for a
Wow.
PhD. Yeah.
Wow. So let me ask, when you were applying to like these schools, were they like maybe some of them were like calls for maybe like join our research team, or you just apply to the school directly and the school gave you funding? Because there are some calls like they post it on maybe like Twitter that we are looking for a PhD student, blah 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 blah. Did you do something like that?
I didn't do that because it's
Wow.
like I don't think it was necessary for me to do that because I felt even what I was doing was even a lot. Okay. And most of those posts themselves, they don't have they are not something related to what I wanted. But
Yeah.
the thing is, for this kind of I was really busy then. I was working when I was preparing for grad.
Applying. Yeah.
Yeah, I was working. So I needed to maximize my time efficiently. So time
Yeah.
management matters. So I could not just try to share myself applying for those ones, doing interviews, and also so I have to just okay, this is
Mm.
the path I want to take. Let me take this path. So
Mm.
this also would enable me to apply to as many schools as possible instead of focusing on one professor who says he or she is looking for someone to join their lab. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't go for any vacancy or any advertisement on Twitter or on any other social media platform.
Oh, that's very good. So now let's talk about like the requirements and like the things you put in place, maybe like documents and maybe the experiences, qualifications that you had. So you had like your HND. Was that what you used only, or maybe okay, let's start. Did you do GRE?
No, I didn't do GRE, and the only reason why I
Wow.
didn't do GRE because I wanted to write GRE. In fact, I already booked the time. I was preparing for the GRE exam, but I didn't have time because I was working and I was really overwhelmed at school. I was like, okay, let me just apply to the schools. Let me ask them if they would wait GRE for me. And I told them, I have this, I have this. See, there's nothing bad in asking. The worst the answer you will get is
It's
no,
no. Yeah.
right? Just ask. I told I had this, I had this, I have a sex experience. Do you think you could wait GRE for me? And if you wait for GRE, fine. If you're not, I'm not applying because I don't want to
Mm.
waste my effort and drafting statement of purpose and the likes. So I did not do GRE, and I didn't do GRE. It was because I never. It was a very very tight schedule for me. Because sometimes when people ask me that, I mean, did you do GRE? And I say no. They'll say that hey, they don't need to do GRE. Sometimes it is.
Mm.
In fact, most oftentimes, if a school requires that you write GRE, I strongly recommend that you write GRE. It
Mm.
wasn't that I wasn't ready to write GRE. I was preparing already. So just that I
Yeah.
don't have the time. I didn't have the time. I had a lot on my plate then. So I had to prioritize. That's very important for you as a person. You have to prioritize and you have to um manage your time effectively and efficiently. So that was the reason why I didn't write GRE. So for other requirements like having an academic CV, which is quite different from a job CV, you need an academic CV that highlights your academic journey, your undergrad degree or your master's degree, then your research experience. You don't have to have a myriad plethora of research experience. Even your undergraduate research experience is enough. Although
Mm.
I started my undergraduate research because I was working in an academic environment, I was opportunity to be involved in other projects like mentoring undergraduate students, research, and collaborating with senior colleagues on campus to do some research. So I added that to my academic.
Research experience. Yeah.
Yes, and then you also need to include your extracurricular activities. Maybe your undergraduate, you have any leadership experience, you participated in any clubs or any, even your Christian or Muslim societies. You could include that in your um,
CV.
CV. And one thing that also happened was that, okay, immediately I got to know about my research interest. The next thing I did was to take relevant online courses. So
Mm.
I took relevant online courses on Coursera. I applied for financial aid. I love free things. it's not I don't like paying for things, but when I see that okay, like something I
If
could
it
have
can be
like,
gotten for free, why
yeah,
pay for it?
why do I want to spend money on it? If I want to spend money, that money I can give it to someone else to use it for something reasonable. So let me
Mm.
apply for financial aid. So on Coursera, I applied for like 4 or 3 courses which offered financial aid. I got there and I was able to take courses that are relevant to my research interest. Then I added it to my academic CV. So take relevant certification, then put everything on your CV, and those things are required. Your skills also should be highlighted on your CV. Then another thing is your statement of purpose, which is very, very, very important. Most graduates require you to write a statement of purpose, which is an essay that illustrates or summarizes your academic journey, where you appraise yourself, why you're choosing the school, your motivation to pursue a graduate degree, and every other thing that you need to put there. Then what other documents do you use? Yes, GRE, TOEFL. You know, I told you I wrote IELTS
I
in
helped, yeah.
2019. My IELTS expired before I started applying to graduate school. So I had to take TOEFL. It expired in 2021. I had to take TOEFL in 2021 so I'll be able to use that to apply to graduate school. I actually wrote IELTS because I wanted to apply to Canadian schools. I even applied to those schools, but they gave me undergraduate transfer admission, which means I was going to. We started from 300 levels. I didn't have money to start, paying tuition fees. I was offered admission in the UK for top of degree. I couldn't go. I know that I was getting prepared, or God is preparing me for something bigger, which
Yeah.
is so.
Yeah,
So that was
that's very
that's
good.
basically everything you need to gather and submit your application. Some schools might require more from you, but for United States, this is just a summary of those things: you academic CV, statement of purpose, a personal statement, GRE, depending on which discipline you want to you're applying for. GRE had TOEFL, which is the English test, TOEFL or IELTS or Duolingo, depending on the which one you have. And yeah, that's pretty much what you have to do.
That's very, very detailed. Thank you so much, Islamia. So, okay, I was going to ask that when you were applying, did you have to do like any conversion course, from like HND maybe, or did you even attempt taking a BSc, or it was strictly just the HND? Like, what did you do? Did they just accept your result like that?
Okay, so that's a good question as well, and I appreciate that. And well, maybe you'll be the first person to learn about this. You have your YouTube. For Nigeria's sake, I mean, for the purpose of, having, Nigeria, you have to have an HND and maybe a bachelor's degree. I'm proud to say that today is my convocation.
Really?
So today,
Congratulations.
thank you. So while I was in Nigeria, I was doing my bachelor's degree, but I think I was rounding up I wasn't rounding up. I think I was in my penultimate year when I was applying for graduate school in the US. So I planned not to use it because I knew that it was going to be delayed. And just imagine a vocation today. If I were to use that Nigeria bachelor,
really, 2 years ago.
exactly, that means I would not be able to enter the US for my graduate study until that's 2025, and that's 2025. I'll be most likely being preparing to enter my fourth year.
Okay, 40.
That would be like fourth year, maybe my final year though. I don't know yet, depending on how that works.
Yeah.
So I did evaluation, and I used WES WE as World Education Service to just to know if my degree, my HND, is equivalent to the US bachelor's degree. Interestingly, it came out positive to be equivalent to the US degree. So I used that report. I used my transcript to apply and my certificate, but I do upload that report as a supporting document just because most schools, they might not understand the kind of degree you're bringing. Even if you're bringing a degree, some schools will even ask you to evaluate Nigeria's bachelor's degree, just equivalent to your their degree. So I do advise people to do an evaluation. You don't have to use World Education Service, which is WES, and that's the most common one. I used WES. There are other evaluation services you could use as well. Just try to check online. So depending on how financial you are, and and how urgent it is, and most of them even they now get you now accept electronic copies. When I did mine, they don't accept electronic copies then. So your transcript. Your school needs to send your transcript via courier service. And after COVID, everything changed. So yeah, it's important for you to do like an evaluation just to make sure that your degree, your HND, is equivalent to a bachelor's degree in the United States. So as long as it is equivalent to a bachelor's degree in the United States, I think it is best for you to shoot your shot.
Yeah, thank you so much for that clarification, Lamia. So I'm going to ask that, what do you think would have contributed to getting 7 fully funded scholarship? Do you think maybe like your CGPA, your grades, and maybe some work experiences? Like, what do you think made your application stand out?
Yeah, I think most of the things they needed are if you have an outstanding grades, CGPA. So I had an outstanding CGPA, and you know that by now that I was the overall best graduate student. So my grade really counted for me, and also my research experiences also counted for me. And in my SOP, I also appraised myself, and I also did the school appraisal differently, because I made sure that I research on each schools, and I say things that are unique to each of the schools in my statement of purpose. So I would say that I tried my best to submit a compelling statement of purpose to all of the schools. And my recommenders did a great job in writing a very strong recommendation letter for me. Even if you have everything, you have good grades, you have the good exams, you have compelling SOP. If your letters of recommendations are weak, you might not get into grad school. So I believe everything just worked for me together. Like I did my best, and my recommenders also did a lot of work to make sure that they wrote a great letters of recommendations for me. So those things contributed to the success.
Yeah, thank you very much. So I don't know how HND results are like published and all of that. Like, do they do it as 2-2 first class, or it's just like distinction, merit?
Okay. Class of grade for HND in Nigeria is you have distinction. From distinction, you have upper credit, lower credit, pass, and fail.
Okay, it's similar. Upper credit is like 2-1. So do you think someone with like upper credits could still,
Yes. Yes. If you have upper credits for HND, yes. The only thing I would say is that, okay, let me just quickly share this.
Okay.
I said it that I've always wanted to pursue a graduate study, right?
Yeah.
Outside Nigeria. So when I got to know about the US in 2020, what I did was, okay, I said, okay, I'm qualified. But in 2020, they were part of my applications. I knew that if I should apply in 2020, I would never get admission. So what did I do? I made sure that I used 1 year to prepare better, to boost my profile, to work on myself, to work on my profile, to be able to make sure that, yes, I am submitting a very good and competitive application to the admissions committee. So I could tell you that what I did was I tried to make sure that I gather these application materials. Like for those courses that I told you I took, the relevant courses I took on Coursera, I never had them. When I would be applying for graduate studies in the United States, what I did next was that trying to make sure that I have a collaborative research experience and to that I publish more papers. I didn't really publish more papers, a lot of papers before, but at least I think I had 2 or 3 collaborations. Okay, so I made sure that I was working towards that, and I also made sure that I was just trying to make sure that I package everything. I was
building
working
a stronger profile. Yeah,
to build my profile, because I knew if I had applied in 2020 or immediately I graduated for my HND in 2018, I would never get it. It's not, but I
Wow.
don't know. Even with the best graduating student, I didn't get it. So it's a lesson to all of us as well that you don't have
Yeah.
to see this graduate school in the US, scholarship, plenty. Just make sure that you see a very competitive application, a very strong application to show the admissions committee that you're a best fit for their university. Right?
Yeah.
Just
Wow,
prepare.
that's good. That's good. Like she said, don't rush it. Just take your time. Even if it's to take like a year, going for internships. That was one of the things I also did, even though I wasn't entirely knowledgeable. But I knew that when I graduated for my BSc, I felt like I didn't have like any solid experience, but it was just for 3 months. I was able to like do internship in IIT, the National Institute of Tropical Agriculture. So because of that, some of my colleagues like went for NYC immediately. I was like, instead of me going with the next batch, let me just try and see if I could secure a spot for internship. So that's also like one of the things that you can actually do. So just build a stronger profile. Look for courses, like she said, on Coursera. I'm going to drop the link of Coursera like in the description box. You can apply for financial aids, just like get certificates. If you have opportunity, do internships, volunteer. The most important thing is gather those experience. You can even speak to your supervisor that you want to probably work on that. Then if you stay around the area, just look for people you can collaborate with and do the needful, which
Yeah,
is very important. Okay.
let me add to it, as it's mentioned, extracurricular activities. You see, these people are not only concerned about how you perform in the four walls of the classroom. They want to see how you combine your academic life to balance that with extracurricular activities and also your contribution to the community. So I also did something, despite having a lot of extracurricular activities while I was during my undergraduate studies, I also ensured that I build my extracurricular activities profile. So I started graduating. I was a JCI member while in FPI, Federal Polytechnic Ilaro. So after graduating, I joined the city chapter. Then I rose to the position of executive vice president before I came to the United States. Probably if I was still in Nigeria, I'll probably
Be the president.
yeah, the president, maybe last year or this year. But the thing is, so while working on your academic profile and research profile as well, you need to work on your leadership experiences too. You need extracurricular activities. You need to build that too, so that it will balance. They will know that, oh, this person is not just sound academically.
Yeah.
Person is also impacting lives. And one thing about graduate school is graduate school in the United States is about impacting lives. Everything you do is about contributing to the body of knowledge, whether in science, humanities, or in business or anything. You are making research to make everyone's life better, the world better.
Forward. Yeah.
Yes, and to move the world forward.
Yeah, that's a very, very valid contribution. Now, some of these things probably don't make sense when you are doing them, but when you look at it in the long run, I remember when I was in undergraduate, I was also on a scholarship, and one of the requirements for the scholarship to be renewed every year, we have to do this community development program, every single year. We have to volunteer, even if sometimes it's probably not directly, but I knew I worked on the farm at some point as part of my volunteering experiences, and some of these things were the things that added to my CV. When I was pursuing graduate study, I talked about the community development projects that I've been able to like get involved in, like maybe for like 4 different projects all through my undergrad. Then it wasn't easy. We were always complaining that why are they asking us to do, all of these things, but everything all, summed up together to be very, very useful. So you could be a shy person, which is valid. I was a very shy person. I'm even wondering how I'm doing this YouTube channel. But, when you have the opportunity to, take up leadership experiences, it's not about the position. It doesn't have to be like a very, very high position. Just embrace it, volunteer. All of these things, are adding up and will definitely be useful in the long run. Thank you so much, Islamiat, for, bringing that up. So when you were applying also, was there any points where you were asked to, maybe reach out to a supervisor first before you can get like funding, or everything was just through the graduate school?
Oh, so I think I missed that question. You once asked about this, right? I think I missed it. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah, it's fine. I can't remember, but That's fine. You can go ahead.
I just remembered because when I was talking, I was trying to recollect to see what question I was missing. But now so thank you for bringing that up again.
Yeah.
So one thing you also need to know when you're searching for schools, make sure that you read everything on the website carefully, all the information displayed on the website carefully. Click on the buttons, the links to read about everything. Some schools will mention it specifically on their website that you need to get a supervisor who would recommend you for admission before they offer you admission or scholarship. And some people say that you have to also apply for scholarship separately after applying for their studies. That means even if you are offered admission into their program, it doesn't guarantee automatic scholarship. Right?
Yeah.
Very important for you to check the website. And if you can't find any of this information on the website, it is important for you to reach out to the graduate coordinator. They have answers to nearly all of the questions that might be going on in your mind. So just reach out to them. I did not reach out to any supervisor to recommend for me for admission. So though I reached out to one, which is Michigan State University, but I didn't apply to the school at the end of the day because I think this research does not really align with what I really wanted. In fact, I had an interview with a professor into his group, but I never applied to the school. To the school. So you want to confirm that the school requires that you get a professor who would recommend you for admission before you apply to the school. So for scholarship as well, some schools, most of the chemistry department, immediately they give you admission, especially for PhDs, they would give you automatic funding. So some will, immediately your admission comes in, the funding will come in with it. But if you need clarification, so you don't waste your time and effort, just always. So literally, I didn't apply for scholarship separately. My admissions came with funding. Yeah.
Thank you very much for the clarification. So at this point, I would like to ask if, maybe there are resources you could recommend to people watching this video who are attempting to apply, for even if it's direct PhD or MSc that could, support the application.
So one thing I used to say is that we should utilize our social media platform very well. I'm not a social media person. You don't see me post on Twitter every time. You don't see me post on LinkedIn. You can look my LinkedIn. I have not posted in a while. But one thing I do, I'm a silent follower in all of these apps, like media platforms. I follow people, the right people. For example, I'm already thinking of what to do after grad school, and I'm already following all the people who are doing the things I want to do after grad school. So social media is a land of opportunities for everybody. You have to utilize it properly. It is easy to get carried away with fancy things on those stuff, but you just have to be dedicated. Sometimes I was like, I want to spend I have to spend 30 minutes on LinkedIn. I want to spend 30 minutes on Twitter. And at the end of the day, you'll be spending 2 hours or 3 hours. So you just have to be very careful. So that is one of them. Especially Twitter, LinkedIn. I would slightly recommend Instagram, but, Instagram is a lot of, far from reality for most people. So I don't really recommend Instagram, but there are some people you could still follow on Instagram. There's a way Twitter streamline your feeds when you start following people. So it streamlines. You have academic Twitter, tech Twitter, and the like. So it streamlines your feeds, and from there you will get a lot of information from people who are already here, you even meet people, connect with people, and also watch YouTube videos. For example, like this comfort video. There are a lot of other YouTubers posting information about grad school application. Watch YouTube videos. Just Google. Just type on your phone, everything. Just type something there. Okay, this is what you are thinking. This is what you want to do. Just type there. So everything you need basically is online. It's everywhere. So, and about links, for schools, you could check for icu.org. For icu.org to get the list of schools in Canada, US, and the likes. And for evaluation, you should check I used WES. There are other evaluation bodies you could use. So for WES, you could use WES.org. So you get everything you need, like how to apply for evaluations, how to send your transcript, the amounts required, and the likes. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and the thing is, you cannot do all of these things alone. Some people will believe in your dreams, while some people will not believe in your dreams. That's why I don't take people for granted. Like, a lot of people really, really supported me, like, even financially, that I will support you. I believe in your dreams, Lamia. Let me just support you. So if you meet those people, if you have those people in your life, communicate with them, share with them, and let them know your what you're doing, even your mentors and everything. So we all need mentors. We all need people who would hold our hands when we are weak.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one thing is that this journey is quite stressful. It's quite demanding, but that's around you to keep you motivated, and because some of us just get demotivated easily, and it's not easy, I understand. So,
Yes.
and the truth is that people don't know it. I also get rejection. I got rejection. So,
Yeah.
but post their failures, of course. Everybody posts their successes. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that also. Like she said, she got rejections. So you shouldn't just be thinking some people just getting all of these applications success without, getting rejections. I got rejections too before I got my own scholarship. So you just have to keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just have to keep going. And so I'm going to put a link to all of the websites she mentioned, the 4icu.org and the WES.org too. So thank you so much for Ms. Lamia for sharing that. So I think you came through, I would assume HND and BSc definitely are the same, but you kind of skipped the master's route and you're doing a PhD directly. How has it been, doing that? Is it stressful?
I'm glad you're in grad school too. You remember that I actually texted you that I don't know if we'll be able to meet today again.
Yeah.
How my experiment will go in the lab. Today is Saturday. I go to lab today, I'm going tomorrow. So that's why I think that would summarize it. Like from Monday, almost every time I'm in the lab. So it's quite challenging. Okay, it's quite challenging, it's demanding, and it requires resilience. But the thing is, the good thing about this is you are learning. You are learning. And I've also come to the realization that if you don't fail, you would never learn. I think that's one of the, I don't know, maybe that's one of the things in grad school. It is that failure is part of what you are even here for. That failure is part of what you are even here for. You have to marry failure. You have to marry failure in grad school. You have to accept failure wholeheartedly. You have to be comfortable with failure.
Yeah.
Like, when I first came, it's always like when I have failed experiments, or when I thought of having a good result and it comes out bad, I'm always very mad at myself. I'm always very displeased. But along the line, I realized that it's those failures are the ones teaching you the main lesson.
Yeah.
Right? So
exactly.
daunting process. It requires it's all for the faint-hearted ones, trust me. But the thing is, it would definitely worth it at the end.
Yeah.
Trust me. I know for sure. So that alone is the thing that's keeping me pushing for me to even get it. I've learned a lot of things about my research that I don't know anything about my research. But now, if you have questions, like, yeah, we should try this, we should do this, we should do
exactly.
that. Let's try this. It's those. If I never failed, I'll never know those things. So.
Yeah.
About you being smart. That's one thing also people need to know, that it's not about smartness. Graduate school is not about smart. Maybe in other fields, but in her own kind of field, it's not about smartness. Because what do? No matter how smart you are, even if you mix the right chemicals, you do everything. If the result is I'm not coming out well, then it's not coming out well. Like, okay, whatever happened, something happened, and when I checked the results, it was bad. I said, okay, I'm going to eat. Whatever happens to me, I'm going to eat.
Definitely.
If I would not eat, I'll be sad. I'll be motivated. And I was like, no matter what you are going through in this grad school, please eat first.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
That's
Thank
just
you
the
so much. Thank you so much. This is quite interesting. Funny,
yeah.
but it's also very true. I'm sure that as you're watching this, you're picking one or two things. Everybody who is sharing stories of success, as she said, failure is just a stepping stone to achieving that thing you really want to achieve. And when you fail, it's adding to your knowledge. You know what's not to do, you know what to do, and all of those things. So thank you, Islamiyat. So lastly, what advice would you give to people, watching this video, considering pursuing grad school, maybe PhD or MSc through HND degree? Yeah.
Okay, so I believe even from the beginning of this session, I've been giving advice, whatever you're
Yeah.
so whether and the thing is whether you're having a HND or bachelor's degree, as long as you want to apply to a graduate school in the United States, one thing I would first thing is to not to rush the process. Make sure that you invest your time, your resources, money, and energy into this. There's an adage that says that what's worth doing at thought is worth doing well. So you
Yeah.
do it really well. So don't rush the process. It's gonna come out fine. And and that thing is stressful. I can't lie to you. So I used to tell people to when they feel demotivated, when they don't feel like continuing, so practice the 2 R's, which is rest. When you rest, then you reignite. So
Yeah.
those R's, I do practice that often, even in grad school. When my head is full, I rest, and trust me, after resting, I get reignited. So it's a daunting process, but so you just have to rest and reignite. And another important thing is that join communities, because as I've said earlier, you will definitely at some point get demotivated and be like,
Mm.
worth it. But when you have a community, maybe joining groups, having people around you whose dream aligns with yours, who are also planning to come to grad school maybe next year or whatever time you're planning to, and are also working consistently towards getting this getting their dreams realized. So whenever you're down, they would uplift you. They would
Yeah.
have to join communities, form communities, and that would really help you a lot. And the final one, which is also the most important one, is the God factor. You cannot remove that.
Yeah.
Yeah, trust me, it's not me. I can't lie to you, not God.
Yeah.
So there's nothing you can do without that God factor. Yeah. And always have humanity at heart. That's one
True.
thing keeping me going in life. I mean, I don't just do things because of myself. You can see that that's even one of the reasons why I don't really post again, because I felt I've achieved my aim.
Mm.
Me, right? So let people who owns LinkedIn continue. So when I have something to say, or when I have something to inspire people, and there might probably be a time in the future where I'll be posting more often,
Yes.
when the inspiration has gone even far beyond myself, that I needed to, keep.
Let it out. Yeah.
Yes, and let it out. So I'll definitely be back. It's not that I'm not on LinkedIn. I reply messages of people. I follow people. I read people's stories and I like pages. I like stories on LinkedIn. I comment on LinkedIn too. But me just posting, I just felt I've achieved my aim, which is to inspire people. If it is just one person that decided that because Islamiyat did it, I want to do
I can
it,
do it. Yeah.
enough for me. So put humanity at heart. Don't just see it beyond that. I want to do this for myself. See that you're doing it for a whole generation. You're doing it for people. You're doing it for yourself while doing it for people as well. And another thing is just see beyond Japa. Don't be desperate. Please be for you and do it because you're interested in it. Do it because you're
Yeah.
Yeah, because I can tell you that if it was just me, just want to leave Nigeria and I just want to, trust me, I would have left graduate school. This thing is hard.
It is.
Despite it's hard, if I can be here and telling you that I have learned a lot, and I'm going to
Mm.
wait till I finish this program, I'll get a PhD, then you can get it. So it's hard.
Yes.
Everything is just, accumulating towards building the Islamia that you also be proud of in the future.
Yeah.
That's it. Thank you so much once again for the questions. I'm glad to be here. I'm happy. Always this. I'm happy.
Yeah.
always do this. Thank you, Comfort. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Islamiat. I'm so happy. And let me say at this point that I really do love your mindset, honestly. Yeah, I love everything you've said, and thank you for taking out time. I know you're very busy. You know, it's the US and you're busy. Thank you for taking out time, and you know, you're also doing lab work. You have to go to the lab very often. I think for someone like me who is doing agric, it's probably not that stressful. You know, we probably just go to the field and come back, but staying in the lab all the experiments feeling could really be discouraging, but God is your strength. Thank you so much. And like you said, the summary of our advice, join communities, even if they would encourage you, and at the same time they also share opportunities. Somebody might say, oh, this particular school is offering application fee waiver. You might not know yourself, but because you know someone who knows it, then you also have the privilege to have like that information. And as she said, lastly, involve God. You can try and try and try, but if God is not there, everything can just be in vain. But I know that your efforts won't be in vain by God's grace. And I wish you guys success. I wish you guys, you know, success in all of your applications. You would get the failure, but don't feel too bad. Just try and stand up again and keep pushing. If it's your desire, don't give up on it. And I believe God is going to, you know, make everything perfect by His grace. And till we meet, you guys do stay comforted. Bye.